Welcome into the latest edition of Bleav in Steelers. Jared Bailey here with you as always. Whether you're watching us on YouTube or respective television partners or listening as a podcast, we appreciate you for making us part of your day. And yeah, a big show today is joining me, one of the all-time greats to wear the black and gold, Super Bowl champion, Pro Football Hall of Famer, one of the greatest running backs to ever do it, the Bus, Jerome Bettis. How you doing, sir? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you for being here, man. Before we hop into the football talk, I know you've got a big weekend coming up here in a couple weeks, partaking in the 36th Annual American Century Championship. Everybody can check that out July 11th through the 13th on NBC, Golf Channel, and Peacock. Over 90 participants in this. First of all, how's your golf game? I'm not going to pretend to be privy to the Jerome Bettis golf knowledge.
It's okay. It's trending. I'll say that it's trending on the better side. So I'm excited about putting it on display at the 36th annual American Century Championship. So I'm excited about it.
Very fitting that it's the 36th annual championship.
That's right. That's right. Great number.
And look, there's a lot of good athletes in this. Obviously, Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers partaking. His good friend, Bills quarterback and reigning MVP Josh Allen. Nate Bargatze, the comedian. I know he's a good golfer. Is there anybody in this tournament that you feel like you have an upper hand on? You can't say Charles Barkley, though. That's the low-hanging fruit, Jerome. Is there anybody that you feel like, all right, I think I can beat them?
Well, not. You know what? I never think like that. I think about how I can, get. So my best finish is, I think, 15th. So my goal is, how can I finish at the top of the charts? You know what I mean? Instead of who can I beat? That's not. I mean, that's not. It's not saying much when you beat somebody if your score is not that well. It's like, yeah, you suck, they suck, so it's no thing. So the key is, if I can beat my personal best of 15th place, I think that's when I have achieved something. So that's my goal. I want to go out there, play the best I can possibly play, and see what happens.
So how do they separate you guys when it comes to this? I mean, 92 people. Do you know what group you're going to be in?
Here's what they like to do. The first day, obviously, everybody started at zero. So the first day, what they like to do is put people in the category. So like for us, it's usually football guys. So the first day, we'll probably play with, I'll probably play with another running back, and it probably will be 3 NFL guys. Gotcha. So they try to put like 3 hockey guys and 3 baseball guys together, three basketball guys, 3 football. And so they do that the first day. Then the second day is all off score. But the first day they like to put kind of guys in those groups to kind of showcase the sports.
All right, fair enough. And again, everybody can check out the 36th Annual American Century Championship, July 11th through the 13th on NBC, Peacock, and Golf Channel. But, it wouldn't be a show with Jerome Bettis if we didn't talk a little bit of football. Everybody seems to have an opinion on the addition of Aaron Rodgers. What's your thoughts on everything going into 2025 with him being under center?
You know what? It's a necessary evil. I mean, people are saying, you shouldn't have waited for him. Why? Why not? What else you got to do? I mean, what else are we doing here, right? I mean, people, it's just the craziest thing. Oh, you shouldn't be waiting on him, and you got OTAs. Are you serious? OTAs? This is why we have to rush into a decision, because we're having these organized practices. And so I try to explain to people that you want to go into the season with the best possible team you can have. You don't want to risk that just by, he wasn't here for OTA, so we don't want him. No, we want the best possible player at every position. That's the goal. That's how you win a championship. Now, can we win a championship? That's hard to say. We'll know that when the season starts. The question I have is, can we protect Aaron Rodgers? 41-year-old quarterback, you have to be able to protect him if you want to get all of the benefits that his skill set can provide you, right? So, yes, you got some younger guys waiting in the wings. They can probably take more beating than the Aaron Rodgers could.
Right.
But I don't think their upside is anywhere as close to what Aaron Rodgers provides you offensively, right? And the last few years, our big Achilles heel has been our quarterback production, right? We haven't gotten great quarterback play. As a result, we are where we are. We're a mediocre football team, middle of the pack. And being in the middle of the pack, you can't draft a quarterback in the middle of the pack. Yep. So it's kind of been working against us in multiple ways, right? The problem, though, I think people have to understand is when you have a playoff caliber defense and you've got a group of guys who you're paying a substantial amount of money to, you do them a disservice by saying, oh, well, we're just going to go with a rookie quarterback and we'll let it be what it's going to be. You know, you don't want to waste seasons with this caliber of talent that you have. Yep. So you got to give yourself the best chance to win you can, right? And there was not a lot of quarterbacks available. You know, you don't find great quarterbacks just, you know, sitting at home.
Right.
So the opportunity was, hey, Aaron Rodgers is available. You take a shot. And I think that's what they're doing.
Speak from a veteran's point of view, because you went through a few different quarterback changes, going from Cordell to Tommy to Ben. What's that like from a vet point of view, going from, because now, I mean, this is going to be the fifth straight year they've had a different week one starter. If you're a guy like Cam Hayward or a Minka Fitzpatrick, TJ Watt, what's that mindset like, having to get behind a new guy every year? It's
tough. I mean, because I had Mike Tomczak when I first got there.
Yeah.
You know, and then before it was Mike Tomczak, and then it was I can't think of it. He ended up going to Chicago.
The Jim Miller.
Miller, yes. I had Tomczak, then Jim Miller, then Cordell, right? Then Tommy. So it's one of those. You say, okay, let's go. You know, next man up, let's go. You still feel that you've got a chance because you've got a talented group of guys around you, right? And you just want to catch lightning in the bottle, if you know, for a term. So I think the guys still have confidence and they believe, because here's one thing you do know. Aaron Rodgers, if you gave him a situation, you got some receiving, he's going to get the ball to him. He's accurate, still a great passer, can do all those things. So yes, if we can protect him and we can get, you know, a great group of receivers, he can be prolific. We know that. We've seen that in the past, right? Is he that same player? Probably not. But I'm sure you can get a high level of performance from him if we got pieces around him that help him become the quarterback that he's always been. So I believe you can have that type of success if you can protect him.
From the Mike Tomlin point of view, obviously he's become very polarizing, both within the fan base and around the league. If you were making the decisions in Pittsburgh and they had a similar result that they've had in the past 8 years, where they can get to the wild card, but it's, you know, a loss. If you're making those decisions, are the conversations happening on, okay, maybe we should start anew, or are you going to let this thing ride out and, you know, let him keep trying to figure it out?
No, if I'm running the show, I'm going to say, listen, here's what we're faced with. What we're going to have to do is package 2 first-round picks, and we got to go get a quarterback. So I'm going to make a move with a team at the top of the draft board and say, we got to go get a quarterback. Hopefully you got a team that's up there that already has a quarterback who doesn't need a quarterback. And this next year, you're going to have, I believe, multiple quarterbacks in that top 5. You maybe have 3 or 4 guys that are capable. So I go up and make a deal and probably won't get the number 1 quarterback or the number 2, maybe the 3rd quarterback, similar to when the Steelers got Ben Roethlisberger. In that draft, he was the 3rd best quarterback coming off the board, right? And so you look at a situation like that and say, hey, we want to go up, maybe get the 2nd, 3rd best quarterback that's available. that we feel can give us the best chance of winning and go up and get him. I think you've tried to stay pat where you are, do the things you could do, build up the defense, and go get a free agent quarterback. We've seen that has not worked. So now you say, I've got to take a chance, invest in a young quarterback we can hopefully develop and give him a chance, because the other ways have not worked. So that's what, if I was in the seat, that's what I would have to do.
And in doing so, I mean, you were obviously there when Ben got there. They would be in somewhat of a similar position that they were when Ben was drafted, because they're going to have still a stacked defense and a lot of like reliable veterans. How important was that, from your point of view with Ben, and how important would that be for whoever the quarterback is that they take next year?
Critically important, because you're not asking him to do so much. I think if you got a team that is going to rely on the quarterback play, that's a problem with a young quarterback. If now, they just drafted another running back, so hopefully this year they're focusing on the offensive line to protect Rodgers. Well, what happens there because of that, the byproduct is you get all great offensive line for the future, right? And so now you plug in a rookie quarterback that now has a really good running game because you invested in the offensive line to protect Rodgers a year earlier. Now you've got a really solid offensive line. You've got a established 1-2 punch at running back, right? You've got the receivers that you just went out and made sure that they were the tops in the NFL. Now you got a really good tight end. You got everything you need. Now you input the quarterback. You got a really solid defense. It's similar to what we did in that 05-06 season. So that would be the philosophy.
Let's talk about the running backs that they currently have, though. Jaylen Warren, Caleb Johnson, the rookie out of Iowa. How do you feel about this current group? Obviously moving on from Najee Harris and giving Jaylen Warren a little bit of a bump, bringing in a new guy to fill that number 2 role. What's your outlook for what the backfield and the run game will look like?
Yeah, Caleb Johnson, I was a fan of his and watched him in Iowa, and so you hope that he can come in and be that pounder that you lost in the Najee. I thought Najee had developed extremely well throughout his career in Pittsburgh, from early on to the running back that he had become. But I understand that the Steelers, they want to go young and started anew. So I get it. I understand that. So I Bleav they've got a really good 1-2 punch. Warren, I've been a fan of his for a long time. He's a one-cut downhill guy, physical. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he packs a punch, gets out, catch balls. He can do it all, but he does need some help. You want to get somebody in there with a little bigger body who can provide a little bit more punch when they need it. So I think it's a really good 1-2 punch, and excited to see what they can do.
All right, hard pivot here, but I couldn't have you on without asking you about one thing in particular. A lot of people say that your defining play came in your final year, plowing through Brian Urlacher in the snow in Pittsburgh. Would you say that's your defining play, or is there another run that comes to mind that says, actually, no, this one was better in terms of just like a big impact run?
Well, I mean, I had a couple of them that I felt were big impact runs, but I think for the moment and what it meant, I think it's probably that Urlacher run because that was a game we had to win. This game, we had just lost to Cincinnati. If we lose another football game, we're out, right? We go on a run and ultimately win a championship, and that was the game that propelled us. They were the number 1 defense in the NFL at the time. So it was just all these things that kind of led up to this moment. We had to Bleav in ourselves that, hey, we could get this done, right, against the best defense in the league at the time, and all these other things that were factors. So I think for what it meant, it was probably the most important play. There was a couple other ones that I won some games in overtime. I can think against late in the game against Jacksonville, overtime, and then the overtime run against our Cardinals to end the game. Those were like big runs that you end the game. It's like a mic drop, right? You boom, run it, boom, drop it, done. Those were special because you get an opportunity to close somebody out. That's rare at the running back position, right? So those were big plays. But the most pivotal, I think, play in my career would be that Chicago game because we went on to win a championship.
One more before I let you go. What made you decide to come back that year? Because obviously you had been pondering 2004 being your final year, and a lot of people were surprised to see you come back. What was the overarching thing that said, all right, one more time?
I'll tell you exactly what it was. Clark Haggans and Larry Foote convinced me at the Pro Bowl that year because Larry Foote reminded me that the Super Bowl was going to be in Detroit, my hometown, and Clark and it was just kind of on me saying, we gonna go back to the Super Bowl. We're gonna be in your hometown, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, they're gonna be there without me, and it got my wheels turning. So I credit those two guys for really changing my mindset and making me see what was to happen in the future. So very thankful that those two decided to convince me.
It got the wheels on the bus turning. Well, that's right. Everybody had a great ending to it. Well, listen, man, with the sake of sounding a little bit unprofessional, as a very young fan, some of my earliest memories involve you. So I just wanted to say it means a lot to me that you're here. Thank you so much for giving me the time, and good luck in a couple of weeks at the golf outing. I very much look forward to see you out on the links. Okay.
Thanks, Jared. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into this edition of Bleav in Steelers. We'll see you later on. Take care.